FSCservice is the integration service between the ECM ELO and the DocuSign workflow. The features, shown in this presentation, are implemented by the service FSCservice, which calls the ELO APIs to check out and check in the documents, and the DocuSign APIs to execute the DocuSign signature ceremonies. The following scenes will show different ways for activating the DocuSign signature workflow on documents stored in ELO. Before starting to send the document, shown here, let's go to see what is the configuration required in FSCservice to call the DocuSign APIs. On the top, the keyword DocuSign is set. In the web service URL, the DocuSign URL is set, in this case the demo environment URL. The real URL will depend on the DocuSign service purchased. On the bottom, several user profiles, authorized to log into DocuSign, can be stored. It is possible to memorize the full DocuSign login profile. To be able to operate the service calls, it is required to memorize the integrator key generated in the DocuSign administrator domain. Once completed the configuration, we can proceed with the generation of envelopes, which contain the document and the required workflow. As first step, we create manually an envelope and the related workflow, just starting from the document selected in the screen. A login to DocuSign is required. Automated procedures can avoid this step, memorizing in the FSCservice configuration the login and the password of the related users. A new envelope has been created in the DocuSign server. At the moment, the envelope contains only the document. The workflow must be designed. For this purpose, FSCservice redirects the user to the DocuSign workflow designer. Being a fully manual creation of the workflow, the user must add the desired recipients and their interaction sequence. Selection of the assigning order is necessary to assure the correct sequence of the different actors, signers or simple readers. We want that the last recipient be a simple reader of the previous signatures, not a signer. Once added the recipients, it is possible to draw the layout of the graphical representations of the signatures in the document. Placed the graphical layout of the first signer, we move to do the same job for the second signer. Adding the second signer. Final message, saying that the envelope was sent, is shown in this window. The document will be sent for signing or reading. Following the workflow sequence. If the sequence was not assigned, or the same sequence was assigned to multiple recipients, all those recipients will receive the document in the same time. Once the envelope has been sent, the different recipients will receive and sign, or will read, the document in sequence, till the completion of the full workflow. Here an example of the signature ceremony accomplished on the reception of an email. Clicking on the button Review Document will open in the browser the document to sign. The language chosen for signers or readers not registered in DocuSign is the user's browser language, the Italian in this example. The signature window will appear locked, until the user accepts the use of the electronic signature procedure. Clicking on the left button Start, Inizia in this case, will drive the user to the proper location to sign. A graphical representation of the signature can be chosen in this window. The signature has been applied. The window can be closed, terminating the procedure. The following is the second signature to apply to the document. In this case, the email is addressed to Joe Tumino. Accepting use conditions to proceed. Also, the second signature has been applied. Let's add a new document in ELO, Fatura 100, to execute a similar signature process, but utilizing a pre-designed workflow present in the user's DocuSign templates. In this case, after the login, the envelope is not generated immediately, but it is required to select a template from the list of the templates available for that DocuSign login. Once selected the template, the envelope is generated, and the user is redirected to the workflow management in the DocuSign portal. In this case, the recipients are already present, loaded from the template workflow. In this template, a named recipient and a generic role are present. A real name and email must be assigned to the role. The assignment can be done manually through this interactive window or automatically through the integration service. We can proceed to design the graphical representation of the second signature, placing it in the desired location together with the other optional labels. Finished the graphical layout, we must assign the real name and email to the generic role in the workflow, Fornitor. Assigned the real name and email of the unassigned role, we can send the envelope. Final message saying that the envelope was sent. The document will be sent for signing or reading, following the assigned sequence. From here it starts again the arrival of emails, requesting the signature or the view of the signed document. We shall show quickly some signature scenes. The first signer accomplishes his signing task. The second signer receives the request to sign. Accepting to continue. Selection of the graphical representation. The signature, name, and date are applied for the second signer too. Now we have two documents, Fatura 100 and Fatura 200, for which the signature workflows have been completed. So we can check in those signed documents back into ELO. Let's go to download the completed envelopes. Only completed workflows generated from ELO are shown in this list. The two signatures are visible. On the top left is visible the icon indicating the presence of an attachment. The attachment contains the DocuSign signature process report. Thanks for your attention.